guys, it's Tucker and Janae with Adventures with Tuck Nick.
Today we're doing a project that we've been putting off for a very, very long time. We're finishing our kitchen renovation. We're actually not gonna be done with it today by any means, but hopefully this week. So today's gonna be day one, and we thought we would take you along and show you what it's like actually renovating an RV kitchen while you're still living in it.
Yesterday we went to Lowe's and we got all the materials that we need: paint, primer, rollers, paint brushes, all that stuff to be able to finish the project. We're going to be prepping the cabinets, painting the cabinets, the handles, and redoing the trim around all of our slides.
For today, we're hoping to get all of the prep work done, sanding, taping. We got to cover things in plastic, all of that, and hopefully as well as the first coat of primer on everything. So here's pretty much everything that we're going to be needing. All of our materials, our paint. I'll give you a sneak peek of the colors. Oh, not that one. There we go. This blue is actually going away. You might have watched our previous YouTube video, how to paint RV cabinets, where we painted this, but that blue is leaving. We're going to be going with a different color. So like Tucker said, we're going to be replacing all of this trim here, painting all the cabinets, painting the walls, and possibly painting this wall an accent color. Not sure yet.
First step, I'm going to take all this slide trim off.
So one thing that we're doing to make sure that we keep track of everything is we are labeling in sandwich baggies with a sticky note on the inside what screws go to what, because we learned that the first time we did a renovation. We thought we would just remember everything, and we did not. So, little tip for you. All right, here's what we got now. Tucker took all the slide trim off. I got all the cabinet doors off. This is what it looks like, as well as on the pantry. And I took off the coat hangers from here. Still gotta take that down, but that panel is open. So pretty much, I've still got to take off all of these fronts, and then everything is gonna need sanded and then cleaned. This backsplash will be replaced eventually, but for now we're just taking it off so we can paint. Okay, so we are using plastic. We already plastic in this entire slide. We're using plastic to fill in all the cabinets so that once we sand and paint and everything, nothing gets inside the cabinets. And this will also keep us from having to empty them, because since we live in our RV full time, we don't have anywhere for this stuff to go when we're doing projects like this. So in an ideal scenario, we would be able to just take everything out, but this is sort of our makeshift solution. Somebody feels like they are missing out on all the fun. So we've basically got everything prepped. We did not catch it all on video, but everything is covered in the plastic now and prepped and ready for sanding. So Tucker's gonna go ahead and get everything sanded for us.
Yep. I'm using a DeWalt quarter sheet sander to do all the sanding, and I've got 180 Prepare grit sandpaper that we're going to be using to prep all the cabinets. Then we'll probably go back over everything with 220 grit finish.
Okay, Tucker finished sanding everything, and this is what we are left with. He went ahead and resanded the island as well. That looks really good. So the next thing is to clean it all. Now that Tucker has finished all the sanding, I'm gonna go behind and clean everything up. And to do that, I'm gonna use a method that Rachel from RV Family Reno does. So she uses one bucket that has a mixture of water and vinegar, and then another bucket that's just water. And this is why I use 2 buckets. This is the dirty bucket and this is the clean bucket. As you can see, this one's still dirty, but this one is just disgusting. So that way I'm not wiping this back on the walls. I'm able to go with the cleaner bucket, and it's clearly getting even more off the second time. It is renovation day number 2. We didn't quite get done everything that we hoped to yesterday. It just took a lot longer to get the prep done and everything. But we are gonna start priming everything this morning and get that all ready to go.
We got plastic down on all of the floors to protect them from any paint drips. And Janae's fixing
I'm gonna start taping. Alright, everything is taped off now and ready to go. So now we're gonna start with a coat of primer and then go from there. I'm gonna be using Kiehl's original oil-based primer. This is what I used on everything else throughout the RV as well. Primer is 100% done. It's all over my face and my hands and the walls and the cabinets. If there's one thing I've learned so far is that I underestimated the size of this room. So it's taken me 7 hours just to prime this today. And I thought I would have the paint and primer completely done. So, primer is done. I double primed the island just in case, since it already had color on it. And I'm probably gonna go ahead and paint the island and maybe a few cabinets tonight, and then we're gonna call it quits and start up again tomorrow. So it's kind of hard to tell in the light, but this is the color that we decided to go with. I'm gonna test it out and see how it looks. We ended up calling it an early night last night. I got all of the primer done, and then I did all of the green paint on the island and the 2 cabinets. And then it was like 7:30 and we were both exhausted. And I was like, you know what? Let's just call it a night and relax a little bit. So we went somewhere else and spent the night because the fumes were so bad in here. It was nice to be able to take a hot shower and then just chill for the evening. And we definitely feel a lot better today. One of the nice things about doing a renovation like this is it kind of forces you to do it. We are living in here, and so our main living space is not functional at all. So on days when I would want to just take a break, I'm not really able to. So it's good that these situations kind of force you to keep going. I just finished the first coat of white paint on all of the walls. It took me several hours. Now I'm going to go back and do a second coat of white paint, and then I'm going to start on the cabinets. The reason why I did the white first was because I'm using a roller for the white, and it's like putting an off spray on everything. I mean, you can see it on my hand. And I didn't want the white off spray to get on the cabinets after I'd painted them. But currently they're white because of the primer anyways, so it doesn't matter. So that is what I'm doing. Next up is going to be another coat of white paint. Also, here is a look at what it looks like after the first coat of just white paint. As you can see, there's a few places that are worse than others. Specifically, this was a dark wood board, and so it's having trouble picking up all the paint. But you just get random lines like this. So that's why we're gonna go over with a second coat. I'm hoping to avoid a third coat. Maybe we'll just have to like do touch up here and there. But this is what it looks like after the second coat, or after the first coat, sorry. And we'll be working on the second coat next. After about 12 hours of painting today, I am finally done. I did decide to go with the green accent wall. I really like it. I can't wait to put this all together. Obviously, we did not completely finish on day 3, but we got all the way through the paint, which is really exciting to me. So, tomorrow's a major holiday. I am hoping to finish the cabinet fronts, and then Friday finish up loose odds and ends and get all of it put back together and see the final result. After about 2 weeks of working on our kitchen renovation on and off for a bit there, we are finally done and ready to reveal it to you. There towards the end, I didn't do the greatest job filming and keeping you guys up to date on everything that was going on, so we're going to do a quick recap of all the steps that we took in the order that we did them. First up was prep, so we took all of the trim off of the slides, removed all of that. We got the hardware taken off of the cabinets, the cabinet doors down, the drawers, yep, all of that. After that, we covered everything that we did not want to get paint on it in plastic. So the refrigerator, the microwave, the floors, that whole slide over there, we covered it all in plastic and then taped off any areas that needed taped as well.
Then we sanded all of the cabinet doors, the cabinets, the drawers, even the pulls. We don't sand the walls to the trailer because there's a wallpaper there, so you'd be taking that off. After sanding, we cleaned everything up, shop vacuumed all the dust, and then wiped everything down.
To clean everything, I used 2 separate buckets of water. One of them was a mixture of vinegar and water. That's what I would clean everything with first. And then I had a clean bucket of water that I would go back behind and clean it all a second time and get any extra dust that was left.
After cleaning everything, we primed pretty much everything with Kiehl's oil-based primer.
I ended up doing 2 coats of primer on the islands just because it previously had color on it and I didn't want any of that to come through. After the primer, I did 2 coats of paint on everything, 2 coats of white on the walls and 2 coats of colored paint on the cabinets. I held off on painting the ceiling though until after he was able to caulk.
Yeah, I caulked the ceiling around all the molding and got it all prepped. The colors weren't lining up the way we wanted them to, so we decided to go ahead and paint the ceiling the same white as the walls.
Because the ceiling was already white to begin with, it didn't take as many coats, so we only did 1 coat of white on the ceiling.
After that, I cut, sanded, stained, sealed all of the slide trim around the edges of the slide.
We'll be doing a separate YouTube video all about how we did the slide trim, so keep an eye out for that as well.
The next thing that we did, I took and I painted all of the pull handles for the cabinet doors, the drawers, black to accent the colors that Janae picked out for the cabinets and the drawers.
After that, it was just time to put everything back, so we hung the cabinet doors, put the drawers back in, put the hardware all back on. Like Tucker said, we did the slide trim, and then we added a custom logo engraved centerpiece for the middle of the slide trim. Although this is the end of this phase of our kitchen renovation, we aren't quite done yet. We'll be replacing all of the countertops throughout the whole RV, as well as adding backsplash behind the stove top and behind the coffee bar.
If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below and we'll answer them as best we can.
We really hope that you've enjoyed watching us renovate our kitchen and transform it into this. We really, really like how it turned out. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to our channel for future videos.
Thanks for watching, guys.